Hi darlings, this is Christina and today we have a few new summer 2025 Chanel collection goodies. I am currently wearing them, so if you're interested in seeing this overall look, then just keep watching and let's get into it. Okay darlings, so there are quite a few releases in this launch. Several Cocoa lip flashes, there were 2 highlighter blush combo duos, and then there was 1 eyeshadow palette. Many things to choose from this collection. However, you know, I'm only picking pieces that speak to me, and the pieces that spoke to me most, this gorgeous stunning package, and this is in the color, is there a color? This is Eclat Du Soir. And I chose this one. You know how I feel about these highlighting duos from Chanel. You know I feel about Chanel blushes and highlighters in general. They're definitely some of my favorite, most collected pieces. And then I did choose the Les Beiges Golden eyeshadow palette. And what I loved about this is that, one, it's not a limited edition. It will be part of their, you know, Les Beiges eyeshadow palette collection. So I think this will be their 5th installation, and I'm so excited for this one because I have a few in my current collection, and neither of them are very neutral leaning, and this for me, since it is golden and I'm goldish in skin tone, I feel like is a beautiful addition, something I can wear on an everyday basis. In fact, I have worn it already. I will show you side comparisons here, the swatches when they were brand new and beautiful. The highlighter duo I have not tried yet, so I'm excited to do this with you now. Okay, let's waste no time. And I haven't tried them since I purchased them, I just swatched them. So what I noticed right away from swatching is this highlighter is a very interesting texture. It is harder feeling, so it doesn't feel like a typical, obviously, blush. This side obviously is a little more luminous, the gold side. So the pink and the gold, which the gold kind of leans kind of warm leaning gold side, almost like a rose gold. So together these will be lovely, but you see this one is definitely more radiant in tone. So yeah, I'm hoping the colors are going to show out well because, you know, I film in natural light and artificial light just to help regulate the colors to make them more natural. But we are having a very gloomy time right now in California. It is so weird. So whatevs, you know, not sure if the colors are going to be exactly how I want them to because the light just isn't very bright today. What is this here color? I'm going to start with the pink. Oh, okay. Very pretty. Definitely brighter than it looks in the pan. I wonder if I could actually get away with using a blush brush. This is a Refer 18. I'm gonna kind of just dab it on versus swiping. I'm trying to see how much texture is being enhanced because of this. Let's see. That's pretty, guys. See, it's got a blurring ability here where it doesn't look bad on the skin, I would say. Very pretty. Very pretty pink. Very pretty indeed. I'm just going to put it on the highlighting points. Let's just see how this... Okay, so that kind of brightens it just a bit more. Almost looks wet. But it didn't really too much change the color like I thought it would. I thought it would make this pink a little more warm, but it's not bad actually. Very pretty. Chanel has this way where they just know how to do things well, especially blushes. No scent that I can really smell here either. So let's pick up this color. I'm just curious. I want to see it on the other side of my cheek by itself. Like if you just wanted to warm up a bronzer, like give it a little sheen, how that would look by itself. Is it going to give us a little color? Is it going to be too shiny? What's that going to look like? It's going to look like wet skin. That is what I'm trying to figure out now. So that doesn't give a lot of color. So for me, it almost looks like my skin illuminated. Now I'm going to take the other side. I'm just going to blend it over because now I want to see what they look like together if you blended them. So I'm sure this is going to make this whole look a little warmer versus the other side I have. It's not bad, you know? Like I feel like for as shiny as this is, you should see a lot more texture and it's not crazy. Like not at all. This is mixed together. And this is with just the pink with a little bit of the highlight on top. That's pretty. I think with this kind of shimmer sheen, you don't have to or need to because this is pretty on its own, but I'm a bronzer kind of girl and I very rarely don't add bronzer to any of my looks. So this is the Terracotta light bronzer. This is 02. I picked this up during the Sephora sale. Yes, I'm gonna go over all my Sephora purchases in the next video because it's gonna be one of the two, Dior or Chanel, and then I'll do my luxury beauty makeup that I'm trying. But what I love about this here bronzer is it gives the most beautiful natural look and the sheen is not too much. And so I think this will be perfect because it almost doesn't, for me, doesn't look like a bronzer. It just kind of looks like my skin, just a little more refined. I don't know how to explain it, but I'm so glad I picked this up during the sale because I was trying to get all my feelings on bronzers. I want to do a comparison video on all my bronzers and what's worth your money. And I loved this one. I fell in love with it. So I think for this whole look, I'm gonna add just a little bit here and there. You still get the sheen, but you're gonna get a little more, you know, skin look to this. So pretty. A little bit more toned down and, you know, more everyday wearable, but you still have that sheen like in the front. That's so pretty. Okay, I really like this. So now let's do the golden eyeshadow. So like I stated, this is going to be available. This will be part of their permanent collection. So I'm so glad they did this because I did pick up one last year because I like the Les Beiges eyeshadows. They're very light, they're very easy. However, the more neutral one I picked out, and I'll have to look it up and put it listed here, I didn't like. I actually hated it. So I returned it to Nordstrom's. For things I'm not sure about, I'll go through like Nordstrom's instead of going through my boutique because I don't like to return things. I don't think I've ever returned anything except when it was a mistake made that was given to me. That's the one only time I've done it. Other than that, I'll go through a department store where it's easy to return if I don't like it. So I like this one so much more. So I'll show you the swatches side by side on the side here, but we're gonna start with this here color. I used this for work yesterday and it was so incredibly buttery smooth and easy to create this look. So pretty. It definitely is warm. Okay, so everything about all of these shadows is extremely warm. I'm not going to use the orange shadow today, but I can tell you it is really pretty, but it's not going to go with anything I got going on here, so I'm not going to do that. But pretty much all the shades in here are very beautiful. And what I really like is that they made this shimmer shade the largest portion. And while it's not quite my favorite shimmer from Chanel, which you know was from the last collection last year, let's see, I did pull it here, the ROUGE palette. So this here color, which I've talked about so much, is almost out. It's a different tone, but it is similar in the finish, so I'm happy about that. I'm gonna take that same color here and put it under here. Now I'm going to take this beautiful color here. It's very smoothie. It's like a shimmer sheen. It's not a shimmer. It's a sheen kind of color, but it runs very warm, almost like a metallic copper kind of, but not nearly as offensive. Like it's not gonna make you look super crazy, right? It's just gonna be a nice coppery finish. A little under here too. Very nice. I'm gonna take the same brush and I'm gonna go dip into this little brown color, which actually isn't very brown. It definitely pulls kind of terracotta coloring, right? And I'm just gonna dab it and just keep it right here. But the colors are very creamy, very much hand in hand with all the other Les Beiges eyeshadows. Very beautiful. Very easy to blend. Very forgiving on mature eyes. Look how pretty that is. It's just, I'm hoping that the colors are picking up because it's such a pretty eyeshadow with very little effort. Okay, so then we have this here color. So pretty. Look at that. So pretty. So I'm gonna put this just over top here. I have wet this, and you can wet this. I'm not gonna wet it on top of my eye, but I will wet it from my inner corner, and that just kind of brightens everything just a touch more. So I'm gonna take one of my favorite little refer brushes, this kind of close to this highlighter color. So I'm gonna swatch the eyeshadow and just put it here. Let's see how close this is. Wow, that is very close. Very close to this highlighter color, except this has a lot more pinkish shimmers to it. It's more reflective, as it should be. You don't want the highlighter to be too crazy, but they are very close, guys. Very close in coloring. So if you don't want to pick up this warm palette or this golden palette, I think you can get away with making that highlighter an inner corner highlight. So I just wet it a little and dip back into that gold shimmer. Overall, I really like this palette. It is very warm though, so if you don't like warm eyeshadows, this is not for you, because every color pulls warm. There's no neutrals in here. But since I have so many neutral things, I'm good. I'm happy to have this very warm wearable palette in my collection. I think of all the Les Beiges palettes that I have, this will probably be the one I get the most use out of, just because it's so complementary to my own skin tone and colors. I'm gonna take my Chanel Pink Nude, my new TENUE color. I have been loving this color, but I'm not gonna put the gloss over top. I'm gonna use one of my Rouge Cocoa Flashes. I'm not sure which one. I'm gonna use the one from the launch. What was it gonna be? The spring 2025 launch that came out the end of December, because it was so close to the one from this collection. That's why I decided to skip all of those. I went and I toggle between those, the cheeks, the blushes, but I don't really like cream blushes. Let me be real frank. I don't like them. I do like the Chanel ones that they launched, even though sometimes those are a little problematic as well. I just feel like creams for me, especially during the summer, do me no favors. They kind of slip and slide into the pores and they're not blurring. They're very like emollient, and I just don't like them. So I thought, why am I gonna do this for a review when I don't use the ones I have right now? I don't like them. So I just didn't. I skipped them. When I go back to the boutique, I may look at them and change my mind, but I don't think so. So these are the things that stood out to me and that really piqued my interest. So I really like. So let me go get that Rouge Cocoa Flash. So I have the Balm, which is the one from the summer, right? And this one, I'm gonna put this here. Well, not the summer, I'm so sorry. This was spring 2025 collection, which is pretty. I think that would go really pretty. Or I have the Rouge Coco Flash from the last collection. I see here. And that's definitely more golden. I could put this on, but I feel like it's got the greenish shift to it. I think I'm gonna go with the balm. So we're gonna go with Honey Bliss on top of this. I think that'd be really pretty. I've been loving to pair like more matte lipsticks with like glosses and lip oils and balms. I just feel like they overall stay better and they give a nice, beautiful look to the lips. So this is that. Okay, so I'm gonna put on my Le Volume mascara and I'm gonna come back with my final thoughts. So this is the overall look. Overall, love, love, love. I love it. I love everything that I picked up. I did want to show you one thing. Now this is the Fantasy de Chanel. You know how much I love this blush, you know, blush highlight situation, but it is much different than what we have going on here. So this is the Fantasy de Chanel on top, and then right here is the new highlighting duo. So I'm trying to see if you can see the difference, but this one definitely is more, it's lighter obviously, but also it has a different shift to it, definitely more of a blush. This one, I mean, you definitely can work it as a blush. You see how I made my cheeks? It is the prettiest highlighter because, you know, unlike blushes that can be very bold and bright, this is going to give you a subtle bit touch of that, but definitely going to give you more radiance than anything else. So it's in the same vein, but it's not a similar product. So I just want to make that very clear. They are very different in their tone, in their consistency, and how they perform. Okay, I love it nonetheless. Definitely think I'll get a lot of use out of it. I think their colors are beautiful, and I think pick one that you think that you get the most use out of. The other one is very warm. I think that's going to be beautiful for deeper, richer skin tones. But I didn't want that. You know what I'm waiting for? I'm waiting for a brown Chanel blush. That's what I'm waiting for. And I already tried the cream blush last year from Nordstrom's. I didn't like it. I returned it. So that's all to say. That's why I didn't get the cream blush this time. So I'm waiting out for that. I have a lot of colors like that one already, but this is something unique and beautiful to the collection and to my collection, and I love it. When it comes to the actual eyeshadow, the golden eyeshadow, I think it's beautiful. I love how easy and seamless this look is. It created a beautiful, beautiful, everyday, gorgeous look. And I think if you don't like warm, like I said, if you don't like warm eyeshadows, do not pick up this palette. You're not going to enjoy it. Definitely there are other color options in the Les Beiges eyeshadow collection, but it's beautiful. And so if you're looking for, if you are warm in tone and you like warm eyeshadows, this is beautiful. And the nice thing, guess what? It's not limited edition. You don't have to run out and purchase this. It will be available on all the retailers at some point. So just keep that in mind. I do think that the duos are worth it. I think it's different, it's unique, and it's very flattering on the skin. So yeah, I would definitely recommend both of these products. I think they're winners in the Chanel Les Beiges 2025 collection. Are they must-haves right now? Not necessarily. I know the blush duo, the highlighting duo, is something that only Chanel does really well to me, so I do think it's worth it. I don't think you need both, just pick one. But yes, darlings, that is how I feel about the collection. I hope that you have a great day, a wonderful week, and I'll catch you in the next one.